Hey there, this is Mish Nicolas, and this is the third and final video of the free training series entitled Breakthrough Fear and Self-Doubt so you can finally start homeschooling with confidence. So in video 1, I talked about the joys of homeschooling, and then in video 2, I addressed 3 common fears in homeschooling and how to break through them. Now in this video and as promised, I'm going to give you a quick start guide on how to start homeschooling. Okay, but before that, let me share with you a story. Okay, I have my notes here. So, just a brief background of the lifestyle that we live. So, my husband and I and our child, our son, we live a commuter lifestyle. So, we travel back and forth from city to province. Because we have several responsibilities in both areas. So you can say I live part time in the big city and part time in the province. And so it's been going on like this for like over a decade already. And this is how we live. And, our son is so used to it. And so homeschool is really the best option for us now, apart from other things. So that's our background, okay? We travel back and forth. So in the early days, I was already homeschooling my child, although I wasn't sure if I was. But on hindsight, I can say that I was homeschooling him. Now, when we would go to the city, we would have him attend a progressive preschool over there because it was just a few steps away from my office. When I go to the city, I work in an office. At that time, I still had a full time job. So there, it was just very close, very convenient. So it was easy, okay? Now, when it was like when he was going to turn grade 1, I started thinking na, wait, medyo seryoso na to. Grade school na, no? So I'm like thinking, am I really homeschooling him ba? Am I really doing this right? And I kind of started to doubt. I wasn't sure, am I really homeschooling? And so, I did my own research. At that time, hindi pa uso yung mga Facebook groups. So, I did my own research and lots of it just to make me feel kampante. Am I really doing the right thing? I ordered this a book, abroad to find out, am I really homeschooling? And realized na, hey, I'm homeschooling na pala. Okay, so, okay, I'm homeschooling na pala. But of course, I still doubted myself. I wasn't really sure because although there were homeschooling families, I had friends who were homeschooling, um, they seem to be doing homeschooling in a similar way, wherein they would buy a certain curriculum and have their kids attend a homeschool support group every day. So it's like their children would go to this place, and that's where they would have their learn about the curriculum that they bought. But that wouldn't work for us because, as I mentioned, we would be traveling back and forth. So I had to figure it out and like how to go about our homeschooling because it would look really entirely different from the ways other families were doing it. The friends I knew. Thankfully, by God's grace, I learned to see God's wisdom through all the years, try to figure things out and what would work for us, and see, after all these years, how homeschooling has actually benefited our family. And I've seen that as my son has grown, how homeschooling has benefited him. So now, after several years of homeschooling, I can now share with you these steps. And so you don't have to like figure it out all on your own. I can help you because I've gone through already what you might be going through or you may be starting. Okay, so now let me share with you how to start homeschooling in 8 simple steps. Okay, so step number 1 is know your purpose and goals. Why do you want to homeschool? What is it that you want to achieve in homeschool, whether in the short term or in the long term? And this will give you the foundation of why are you actually homeschooling ba? And it's not just, is it because it's trendy or is it because other people are doing it? You have to know why you're actually doing this. It's something that you will hold on to as you progress in homeschooling, because there will be days that you may not feel like homeschooling, but if you know your purpose and you know your goals, this will truly help you. So, step number one is know your purpose and goals. Step number two is know your situation. Okay, and ask yourself, what is my family situation or lifestyle at the moment? How can you homeschool within this environment? And how much time do you think you can give to homeschooling? So, like me at the beginning, well, of course, and as I shared with you, our family was living a commuter lifestyle and is living a commuter lifestyle. So, how will we figure homeschooling into our lifestyle? And I was also working full time, so I had to think, how much time can I give to homeschooling? So, you have to be aware of your situation so that you can know how homeschooling will work for you. Okay, some will homeschool in the morning, some in the afternoon, some in the evening, some whole day, but it's up to you and it depends on your situation. So you have to be aware of that. Okay, step number three is know your child. What are your child's interests and how does he or she learn best? Each and every child is unique. We are all made different. We all have our strengths, our weaknesses, and so it goes with our children. It's not a one size fits all. So, because when you learn how your child learns best, you will be able to incorporate homeschooling in a way that will also address the needs and the interests and the strengths of your child. Okay, step number four is know yourself. So it's not just your child you should be aware of, the interests and the strengths of your child, but you, as a primary educator of your child, you have to know yourself as well. What are your strengths? How do you think you can best teach your child or facilitate your child's learning? So it has to be something that, you are also comfortable with. So you don't have to force things. And so that homeschooling will not be a chore or a bore for you or for your child, because learning ought to be fun. Learning ought to bring out that sense of wonder, curiosity, and that love of learning should be present. So you have to know yourself as well. Okay, so step number five is research on the various homeschooling models. Okay, so there are many, many ways to homeschool, and you research. You can just type in Google, homeschooling models, and you'll see a variety. And after you've done your own research, you find out which of these models or philosophies resonate with you and your family. Which do you think suits you at the moment, and why are you drawn to these models? So, some kasi there are models that are more literature based, some are more projects based, some are you do experiments, some are really not done on the desk. You go outside, outdoors. Sometimes of homeschooling incorporate all these things. So, and learning is not just through textbooks. It could be so many things. Also, depending on your child's learning style and the way you teach. So, it's so rich. It's just the possibilities in homeschooling are a lot. So, you have to research on what will work for you. And from there, step number six is choose what will work best for you now. Which of the models will work best for you in your current situation? So, as you grow into homeschooling, certain things that may work for you in the early years may not work for you in the later years. Okay, so you have to also consider what will work for you now and what will work for your child now. So, if your child is, a toddler or in the early years, you don't have to stick to a rigid schedule. A lot of it may be playing, learning through play, learning through read alouds, learning through playing outdoors, but you have to consider the season where you are now. And so you don't have to be too hard on yourself or on your child now. It has to be this. What will work now in this season of your life. Step number 7 is prepare the essentials. Ask yourself, what are the essentials needed to start homeschooling based on the model you chose? So you don't have to start with all the things, don't overwhelm yourself. And if you want to start with a provider, then go ahead. And a lot of homeschoolers also choose this route because when you enroll with a provider, more or less you're set. They offer the curriculum, the schedule, everything. But if you want to go without the provider and to go independent, just prepare the essentials first. What are the main things that you really need? You you don't have to wait now. Do I have to have the workspace? It has to look like what I see on Pinterest or on Instagram. Before starting, I have to construct a new room. No, you start with what you have. It's okay. Start with where you have. Start with what you have. Sorry, and then build on that. So, what is essential for you now? Okay, so that you can start there and right away, and you start to interact with your child and start to experience, how it is to start homeschooling. Maybe a few books would be okay. So you just have to maybe in the bedroom if you don't have like a workspace yet, you know, and just start with the essentials. And this brings us to step number 8, which is to actually start and have fun. Incorporate fun in your homeschool. So it's not just bringing what you know to be school and bringing it at home. You know, it's learning together. It's enjoying the time together. It's enjoying your relationship. So incorporate that fun. And if you feel like you need to um, really schedule, okay, I will start on this month, on this day, and I'll prepare myself. So if you need a little more preparation, that's okay. But um, pick a date. Just decide, pick a date, and you say, okay, I will be officially homeschooling by this date. And with that, just have fun and see how it goes. And you'll realize you'll get into the groove of it, you'll get into the rhythm of things, you'll begin to discover the joy of homeschooling, the joy of teaching your child, and the joy of learning with your child. Okay, so I hope that quick start guide was helpful for you if you haven't started homeschooling yet. And at this point, I'd like to invite you to join me in the Courageous Homeschooler group coaching program. So, what is the Courageous Homeschooler? It is a 4-week group coaching program that will help you get past self doubt, fear, and worry to gain confidence as you educate your child. By the end of this program, you'll understand why you've been feeling fear and self doubt and be able to break through it. You'll be able to gain more clarity on why you have what it takes to homeschool, be more confident in your calling as a homeschooler, learn the simple steps to start homeschooling if you haven't started yet, discover foundational pieces that might be missing in your homeschool if you've already started, and enjoy homeschooling on a deeper level. So that includes strengthened bond with your child, among other things. Okay, so this is the first run of the Courageous Homeschooler group coaching program. It's currently in beta mode, and this first batch will be composed of 15 founding members. So might you be one of them? This program is for moms who want to start homeschooling and need support in pushing past their apprehensions about homeschooling. It is also for moms who have already been homeschooling and want to grow into becoming more confident educators of their children. Okay, so the weekly topics are Week 1, Fear and Self-Doubt, Why the Struggle is Real. Week 2, The Face of Courage. Week 3, The Inner Wiring Approach. And Week 4, Step into Your Calling. So there will be general schedules of the live calls, and we will all be in a private Facebook group where each week I'll be giving a live online training With the members, we will also be having roundtable discussions where you can bring up your questions and concerns with regard to your homeschooling. There will also be activities within the group for members to apply what they've learned, and you may also post your progress in the group and encourage each other throughout this process. So the founding members' investment for this is 2,000 pesos. And as a member, you will also receive for free the Start Homeschooling with Joy and Confidence digital package, which includes videos, audio recordings, a PDF handbook, and a workbook. So I encourage you to sign up for this group coaching program where I will walk alongside you in the coming weeks to help you break through fear and self-doubt so you can gain confidence as you homeschool your child. Okay? This has been Mitch Nicolas, and I hope to see you in the Courageous Homeschooler group coaching program. God bless you.